Well, who do we have here?
I know, it's so weird, like, seeing ourselves.
Yeah, we're definitely not probably doing this the right way, but we thought we're going to try, we've been meaning to do this for a while, of bringing our podcast onto the YouTube platform. You know, we have vlogs going on right now. We have our normal audio podcast, but why aren't we doing video?
No, we should have. My dad has been telling me this entire time.
Yeah.
He's like, why aren't you guys doing that?
That is my favorite and only way to consume content.
No, you are a diehard YouTube girly.
YouTube. It doesn't matter. Like, even Spotify, you got to have a video with your podcast. Like, so I don't know why we're not following the same rules.
No.
So we figured it out a little bit, and we'll see how this kind of rocks and rolls.
Yeah, let us know. Give us some feedback.
Yep. So welcome back, snitches, to another episode of Let's Gossip with Meredith and Steph, and we are doing rapid fire gossip of the week. What's the lineup, Meredith Claire?
Okay, so we've got a lot of good stuff for the Kardashians, you know, our favorite topic to talk about. And then Christine from Selling Sunset went on Call Her Daddy with Alex Cooper, and we got the tea on that. Good. And then a little bit of Bachelor Nation type stuff.
Yep.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so what do we got first?
Let's start off with talking about the billboards.
The Billboard Music Awards.
Yeah, because a lot of people are talking about right now Travis, Kylie, Stormi, the
Stormi
trio.
making an appearance it's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I wondered when she was going to be invited. I mean, obviously, I'm sure she has the invite, but, you know, like, when were they going to bring her to her first, like, red carpet, you know?
And she looked so cute. Stormi was wearing a cute little, like, off-the-shoulder, like, or, like, one-strap dress and her little sneakers.
Which is a whole thing, because people have been like, she's dressing her like she's 22, you know.
There is nothing that the Kardashian or Jenners do that people don't have a problem with.
Right.
I knew by seeing Stormi how cute she looked on the red carpet. First thought in my head was, people are going to make an issue out of this. I just know somebody's going to have something to say about Stormi being there, whatever it is, and people are, like, upset about what Stormi is wearing. Why are we sexualizing a toddler?
That's the thing that I'm saying, where it's like, I understand that it's an off-the-shoulder dress, but it's, like, literally from your armpit to your collarbone. Like, it's not like it's got, like, a scoop neck even.
Yeah.
And it's just a one shoulder, and she's wearing sneakers. You know, it's like millions of kids would wear something like that. Also, like, think about all the babies and toddlers that wear, like, bikinis and, like, stuff like that.
Where she could have gone in her diaper with nothing else on, and it would have been like, Stormi's here. She looks cute as hell. It's like, it's a toddler. There's no winning. There's no winning.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand where everyone's like, they're dressing her like she's 22, but I'm like, okay, but it's because you are viewing that as like you're sexualizing it. Yeah.
It's like, this isn't like the Met Gala, like, where we all have opinions on what everybody's wearing. Nobody asked for your opinion on Stormi besides that she's cute as hell.
And she's wearing a cute dress and tennis shoes.
So
I don't understand.
It's stupid.
And she's got her hair in a bun.
Oh my God.
It's not like she's got makeup on.
No. Also, you guys, check this shit out. This is our favorite beer. It's called Blackberry Betty. Oh.
Our office girls get us. They literally, we've got them. They are the best because they know that this beer is our favorite. And I don't even know if it's anybody else's in the office's favorite. And she makes sure she gets this on tap for us.
Full kegs of this type of beer and they are constantly rotating these kegs on different floors, all different things. And they are religiously getting our favorite beer.
No, she literally came to our office today to say, girlies,
you
got your favorite beer downstairs.
It is juice. It is. Oh, it's so good. Where it's
every office should have free beer.
I'm just confused.
Free drinks.
And it better be draft. We're not messing around with no canned bottle shit.
Absolutely not. Okay, next up with the Kardashians that we want to talk about is like the actual show, what's been going on right now. So I would say like the main plot of the show right now is obviously everything that's going on with Kourtney and Travis. And Scott. And that's where we got opinions, baby.
Oh my. All across the board, how do you feel? Let's kick it off with just Kourtney and Travis and their PDA.
Okay. I am so happy for Kourtney. I think her finding Travis was amazing. But the PDA's gotta stop. And I am a very affectionate person with my boyfriend. You know, like we do PDA.
I'm fine with PDA,
but it's like a
extent.
slight amount. You know, it's like a handhold or a quick peck.
It's not heavy petting.
It's not heavy petting.
I got that from the Too Hot to Handle with some of the British contestants.
Oh, heavy petting?
Heavy petting, not allowed.
Like, I know the term heavy petting from like the Meet You and Yourself book that you would get as a kid, where it like taught you how to shave your armpits. Like I feel like I feel like everybody had that book.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you had it too. Remember the graphic images of like how to shave your armpits, how to shave your cooch.
Well, and I missed the like in class sex ed portion, so my mother took it upon herself to ask the people that come in and do these like or whatever, the training of like showing kids how to like tampons, things like that. Yeah,
private showing?
No, might as well have been, but it was just me and my mom, and she literally got all of the like materials, like the books and everything, and it had to be me and her at the coffee table sitting down going through that. I go, this is my worst nightmare.
Okay, well at least you didn't have my mother Jenna. That was like they're talking about like it's 5th grade. All the questions are about like sex and puberty and all that weird stuff, and the parents had to come, so you had to go with your parent. It's like Jenna is like, you know that answer? Raise your hand. I'm the only one like, hey, I know it. My mom is literally like, hey, you.
Hey, we talked about this.
Yeah, you know the answer. Raise that hand.
No.
Yeah, so.
What was I even putting that?
PDA. But yeah, it's too much. It's gross. And like the part that really bugs me is when they're going and looking for the house and they're doing the real estate. It's like the real estate agent sitting right there as you're full blown straddling him, grinding on the couch of the house you're potentially looking at to sell, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Like, I get you're in love, but it's also like, grow up.
We're in love. There's a million people in love.
There's also just like an etiquette in general of like how you act in public and in front of other people.
No, when you're by yourself, go for it.
Yeah.
Especially this last episode was Chris had a party for her birthday at her house, and it was like this big deal about Scott coming because Scott hasn't been invited to things because of Travis and Courtney, and everyone's trying to be respectful. Everybody's trying to like cater to them. And fully making out in front of Scott. And I go, and I don't like Scott. And don't even get it twisted. I am not on Team Scott.
We will cover this in a second.
Yeah. We're not Team Scott. But also, it's not like, let's ram it in his face and just like, no.
Well, even in general, you're at a dinner with like, it's like Ellen DeGeneres was there. Like, you're in front of and this was them, they said, like toning it down.
Yeah.
With like their hands in each other's hair and like this close. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, even when they're at dinner and they're like talking about like the appetizers that they're gonna get, and you know, Travis is like, whatever my baby wants.
It's like, she's like, do you want to drink that red wine? And he's like, whatever you're drinking, I'm drinking.
Whatever my baby wants.
Like, you're also your own person.
Yeah, I would have been like,
can I get
the spinach and
Kris Jenner's
dip?
house that's like, you can legitimately have any drink you want.
Yes.
But you want to match Courtney. I'm like, okay, cutesy, but we're not in middle school. Okay, like, I like them both, but is it called love bombing? Is that what they call that?
Love bombing is when you're early in a relationship and you're just like, you're the person I'm gonna marry, you know, like.
Well, they're love bombing me.
I'm personally feeling love bombed.
Or just bombed. Yeah. I'm feeling bombed by that.
Yeah, absolutely. Too much. But this is a great segue into the conversation about Scott Disick.
Listen here. It's like, I get it. Like, his feelings are his feelings, and that's valid across the board. His truth is his truth.
Yes.
But my thing is the fact that it's like, grow up to the point of like, people need to understand, we've talked about this before. It's like, you're not always going to be included in everything. And especially in a time like this, Courtney and Travis just got engaged. It's like, none of this is about you, but he has somehow made it about him. Victim. That is how he has lived his life in and out of his relationship with Courtney even. He has lived his life playing the victim.
Yes.
And that's how he's made it this far. And I'm like, dude, there is no way that you are bombarding and like just grilling everybody like in the Kardashian family of why he's not invited to this, and this. And it's like, let's give it some time. And now, I don't even want to invite you now that you're making it a huge deal.
Right.
Are you going to go cry about it? Like,
yeah.
Calling Kris like a mean person to her face after all she's like done for him.
Exactly.
And it's like, right now, it is about Courtney and Travis, and they just got engaged, and their family and that dynamic, and figuring that out for the kids too. It is not about you, Scott, because you feel left out.
Oh.
You weren't invited to a couple things for a minute?
And they're small get-togethers. That's the piece that bugs me the most. Like, the main thing that Scott is upset about is Chris's birthday dinner and Kendall's birthday dinner. And with Chris was trying to play both sides. So she's going out to lunch with Scott and then inviting Courtney and Travis to the dinner.
Yep.
And it's like, Scott is pissed that it's not that he's like mad that he's not getting to spend time with Chris because they're out to lunch together, but he's like, I just get this little diner breakfast.
Where I go, you feel entitled to all of this.
Yeah.
When all you have done is consistently treat Courtney for years the opposite of how she's been asking you to, and that's why it never worked out. It's like, you have been walking all over everybody, and then the second it's not in your favor, when he's had a million girlfriends that he brings on trips, and he's bringing along to things that Courtney has to sit and just suck it up and be around.
Yeah.
Soon as it's like, you feel so entitled.
And it's also
you throw a fucking party and invite them.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're not invited to everything. You're not. And also, it sucks, and I get the feeling, like, if you're someone that gets really bad FOMO, I'm that person as well. Sometimes, like, it never feels good being left out of things, but also, you're not going to be invited to everything, and that is something that you have to, like, internally, like, resolve. It's not 100%. Other people's problem.
No, and also, with Kendall's birthday, it's like, the way that Kendall views Scott is like a brother, like a true brother. And it's like, that was a small, intimate dinner with her friends. It's like, is she inviting Rob? No. Is she inviting, like, I mean, it's like, and also Kendall is trying to explain because they get in a heated discussion about it because he is just relentless with her. Like, fine.
I love how Kendall was like, I'm literally not doing this. No. Because everybody's been like to his face being like, oh, come on, that's a little harsh. And then they come back to the interview being like, oh, he's being so victim mentality. Yeah. But Kendall's like, literally, I'm not having this conversation with you. Like, what do you mean?
Exactly. And it's also like, she's saying that her sisters were there, and this was like a while before Chris's dinner, and she's like, I'm not going to put...
didn't even come.
Yeah, first off, Chris didn't even come, and she's also like, I'm not going to put Courtney in an uncomfortable spot. Because, like, to Kendall, Scott has been in their life just as long as pretty much
since
Courtney.
Since she was born.
Yeah, like literally since the show has been started, Scott has been there. The first episode. So it's like, it is like a brother, and I understand, but also it's like, I'm sorry, at the end of the day, my sisters are my sisters.
You are my brother. You are the baby daddy to my sister.
Yeah.
We are close and we have a relationship, sure, but it's also like, if you're genuinely gonna now be coming at me like that, and apparently I'm picking sides, if you're putting us all in that position to end up having to pick sides, we're picking our sister.
Yeah, and also it's like baby steps, Scott. It's like, maybe let's do one thing.
You're not helping your case.
Minor thing that might like put you in good graces with the Kardashians.
What have you done action-wise to feel entitled to get these invites and continue? Like, what have you actually done? Yeah. You're asking and asking from everybody else and pointing, but have you looked inward one time?
Exactly. And like, the whole reason they didn't have the kids come to Courtney's engagement was because of Scott. I mean, it was because of like the whole coordination, but like, I feel like the real reason it came down to is like, didn't want to tell Scott and coordinate with Scott how to get the kids there without him.
Right.
You know?
And they knew like the kids' reaction too. And I think it's definitely like they keep making the points talking to Scott and to Courtney of like that, like, to the kids, it shouldn't feel like you're pinning your parents against each other. You can have your issues and talk privately, but like, it should not be to the kids like there's some animosity going on or having to pick and choose because now they feel like conflicted. That's just like, and they're young.
Right.
So like, I understand everybody. I'm back and forth on like whether Chris kind of fucked up by not including.
Well, and I've seen a lot of people say like it's Travis's fault.
Right.
You know, like
totally, because like, his kids were there, but they are much older.
Yeah.
And even hearing Penelope, when she said that on the phone right when she called her after the engagement, and Penelope was like hanging up on her and really upset, and she's little, it's like, I don't know if in person she would have been able to, I think that's a tough thing that you don't really know until after you do it, which way would have been better. I kind of understand all the points.
I feel like it should have been just them or everybody.
Right.
Like, because my mom got engaged when I was a kid, and I remember it was just them, but as my mom was getting engaged, like she got engaged when she got off a flight, he was waiting for her. And
I think his kids shouldn't have been invited if hers were.
And like, I knew. So like, when she was getting engaged, they had told me, so as a kid, I was aware that, you know, that was happening. And so when they came home, I remember my family helping me manage my reaction. Like, you know, because like his kids,
they don't really fully understand what that means. They think that they're like losing a parent too, or like,
you know, I feel like they could have sat the kids down, explained it to them, had them come, and then I'm sure everyone would have a reaction of whatever. But still, like, it should have been none of the kids or all of the kids.
I know, yeah.
Because Scott was even like, and her kids weren't even there. You know, they're seeing all over Instagram and stuff. And it's like for Mason, Penelope, they do know.
Totally.
You know, it's like the young ones.
That was kind of weird that like Mason wasn't there too. But I'm like,
it was because they didn't want to mess with Scott.
I know.
They didn't want to mess with Scott, and that's why. But it's Scott
There's no
always
winning.
Scott always just plays the role, because it's like if they would have asked Scott, he would have been so upset and so mad. But now that they didn't ask Scott, it's like, how dare they not have our kids there? It's like, really, because you've been so inviting to work with.
Yeah, no shit. And it's also like, it's very rare that Kris Jenner fucks up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because who knows genuinely how it would have went the other way, good or bad.
Right. Well, people are saying like Travis should know that she would have wanted her kids there. You know, it's like Travis should have been like, Penelope, Mason, Rain, they need to be there.
Yeah.
So, not the best work on anyone's side.
Yeah, but still not an excuse, Scott. So I'm literally over it.
I am too. And it's also like, watch your mouth in the press. Watch your mouth, and you can be invited. And also
talking shit to the ex, to Kourtney's other ex, and it gets aired out, and it's like, oh, but you want to still be invited to the dinners, and you think it's going to be comfortable for Travis and Kourtney after you were publicly making fun of them. You got exposed for that, but you want to be at the private intimate dinner.
Yeah,
for sure.
Totally. After, you know, like, you can have all the reactions in the world, and you can talk shit, and you can do all of that. But you could also invite your 19-year-old girlfriend on trips and talk shit, and that's totally fine.
Cutesy.
No,
Yeah, and Kourtney just has to bite the bullet.
Yeah.
And she was so mature about the entire thing. It was nothing but welcoming.
100%.
Okay.
Moving on. All right, next up, well, I guess this is kind of like one whole piece, but Travis and Kourtney just got officially married.
Yeah.
Yeah, liked the photos, loved the whole vibe.
Yeah, totally them. I feel like they're going to do some sort of party. Like
I didn't really see them doing a big wedding anyways.
Yeah, no.
Like, I just feel like it's not Kourtney or Travis.
Yep. Oh, and that she shattered the engagement ring by stepping on it right after it happened.
Oh my.
She said she was in a really dark place. I would
have been as well.
She stepped right on top of the new diamond ring and it shattered, which I'm like, how does the diamond shatter by the... Oh, maybe she was wearing shoes or something.
Right.
So I'm like, are you okay? Like, how fragile was that diamond if you're just putting away clothes and you stepped on it? Also, first mistake was her taking it off and putting it on the floor next to her while she's folding clothes. That right there, red flag, red flag.
Yeah, no.
So
keep that on your finger, girlie.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Our last Kardashian update is about Kim being the cover of Sports Illustrated. God,
that's my girl.
Kim is killing it.
That's my baby.
Like, literally killing it. The milestone she has accomplished, for anybody that doesn't like her, I mean, you cannot like her. That's fine with us.
Each their own.
Fine.
But we
name
don't
their
approve.
babies. Go ahead. Name them.
Tell me one thing you know about him.
Yeah.
Besides the things that you don't like.
But we digress. Kim, it's like hosting SNL, passing the bar exam, literally becoming the cover of Sports Illustrated, wearing the Marilyn Monroe dress. I go, the amount of things she does, I go, and she busts ass. So I go, she really does it all.
Yeah, this is like, I feel like almost like
I can't believe she has
one of her peaks in life. Like,
I feel like people are now like taking her way more seriously, which is like, I mean, a lot of times, like they even talk about it in the show, like she went from being like a reality star that like was
with a sex tape as well.
With a sex tape, calling paparazzi to come and get them, being an assistant to Paris Hilton, to being a full icon like she is now. Megastar.
Did you see? I just saw today the designer or whoever's in charge of Marilyn's dress was like, I cannot believe that Kim Kardashian wore that. She shouldn't have never worn it.
Yeah, it was Marilyn Monroe's stylist. So she's really like much older.
Right.
You know, it was like Marilyn's actual stylist when Marilyn was alive.
Was it a girl? I thought it was a man for some reason.
I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I did see that as well.
I go, shouldn't we have had that conversation before it happened?
And also, it's like everybody just needs to get off the I hate Kim train.
No, I'm over it.
Because it's like
if I hear another middle-aged woman say that they don't like the Kardashians, we've gone too far down that road in past.
My mom was listening to that episode. She goes, you guys are passionate.
Because I hear it so often.
Yeah.
And for what reason?
Literally, I don't understand. Because it's like, what do they do?
No.
And if you watch the show, it's like Kim is like funny and like normal and nice. I'm like, what do you hate about her so much? It doesn't make any sense to me. Also, don't mind the people walking by where I work.
You know what? Listen, we don't have our own studio yet, but we're making it work. We got some lighting in here that's working.
I think it's good.
But we do have some aimless people like milling around.
Every single time we film down here, people are like, what are you guys doing? What's going on in there?
None of your beeswax.
Yeah, for real.
Unless you're going to subscribe and like.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
promo. No free ads.
Yeah, you're on top of it.
Besides Blackberry Betty. Cheers.
Heyo.
Cutesy.
But yeah, I love the Kim photos. Think they're great. I mean, why wouldn't I? So
get it, sister. Has she ever been on Sports Illustrated before? Because like she should have been. I mean, every year I would have voted for her.
Okay, so next up is Christine from Selling Sunset on Call Her Daddy.
Woo, la la. I gave Meredith the lowdown. I watched it this morning. She hasn't watched it yet.
I have not seen any promos for that because I would have been on that like Donkey Kong.
Last night and the day before, it was all over Alex's story where I was like, everybody, she was posting nonstop about. I go, who is it? Because it was all about like she did the lead up to of like the bottom of Christine's legs and like people trying to guess, and then she posted her like DMs and it was like it's Christine. She was like, you guys might be right.
And I'm like, how did I miss that?
I know. It was just on her stories.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it happens to me too. You know, no harm, no foul. I've got it. Sorry. My God, you guys. You can stop it. So let's couple key points. So she obviously Christine on Call Her Daddy. She covers like some of her like history growing up and things like which some of it she does acknowledge like where certain things she does. Where it relates to like or things she's been through and how it relates to her like childhood growing up, like when she was like she says she was like really sheltered growing up, but her and she like when her parents she had really strict parents, really sheltered, and then her parents went to Costco one day and she was 17 and she just packed her. She was like, I've got an hour to where they're gone from the house. Like it was like that strict. Packed up her shit and left while her parents were just running errands at Costco. And so she talks about how like going through like having sugar daddies and things like that, and she's all about like the sugar daddy game, but she was saying how like she was really in love with her sugar daddy for a while. They were living together, whole 9 yards, but it came back to her trauma of growing up of like feeling like she could never make a decision for herself, and that's why she left at 17. Like she just felt so like everything was controlled in her life.
Right.
And so when she got this sugar daddy like years ago or whatever, when she was younger, and they were living together, she was in love, but he wanted her to quit her job and as like a bartender or something, and he's like a millionaire, and so she's like, but he wouldn't give her, he would buy everything for her, but he wouldn't give her a credit card if she wanted Starbucks or anything like that, like, and she quit her job. She's like, so now I have none of my own money, and it's not like he gives her a card, you know, to like we can share the money or whatever it is, but he, like if she just wanted Starbucks, he would go with her to Starbucks to give her the card to buy it. Like she's like, once again, I have no like control over anything I'm doing. It's over somebody else that's like has this on me or whatever. So that was kind of interesting. But the main things around Selling Sunset, let's see. First one was, what did I say? There was
Adam DeBello.
Okay, so the first one, she talks about she was unleashing about the like the producers of Selling Sunset and like everything behind the scenes and she's even saying like people are gonna try to sue me after this, and she's like, but they can't afford my lawyers. I'm like, whoa, though, dude.
Yeah, your husband's loaded, and she's loaded herself. Yeah,
so. She definitely, I think, maybe crossed some lines with the contract here of divulging some stuff, but I loved every minute.
NDA may have been violated.
Someone say. But one of the things was that Adam DeVello or whatever, the producer, and he produces a lot of stuff, a lot of reality shows and stuff, and stuff. Sorry.
You were just like,
I had to acknowledge. I know, I had to. Oh my God. Anyways. And so she's exposing this Adam dude, and she's like, he's not allowed on set anymore with any of the women because of multiple women, including herself, have filed reports against him, including like sexual misconduct. So he's not even allowed on set when the women are there. And
why are you even having a job then? And if you cannot be around women without verbally sexually assaulting them.
I hope everybody takes this information she just told us and takes it off running right now. And like, I need this to be a main issue that we are exposing him, and like, let's make sure we're not skipping by this little portion of him just like, oh, the only like slap on the wrist is that he just can't be around the women on set. But he can still control what they're doing and saying and making this narrative and producing the show.
That is the most like man-controlled thing I've ever heard. Like,
that's what she was saying. She goes, like, it is insane, the male dominating like in your face, and how Adam DeVello was like screaming in her face, and that multiple witnesses saw it and like saying like that, screamed in her face like he wanted her to like fall down the stairs and kill herself. All this crazy shit. I go, okay, well, we can't move too fast past this. It's
like that guy doesn't need like therapy. He needs like prison.
He needs prison. We're skipping therapy. We're skipping that. We're skipping the court.
Why is he even hired? You can't even be around women without assaulting them. But he just can work from home.
Dude, if I can't work from home, he better not be working from home, little bitch.
For real. Like it's like the same thing of like why girls have to wear, can't wear tank tops to school because of your pervy teachers and weird kids can't stop staring at what?
My shoulders.
A shoulder blade? Oh, cute.
No, we're not going down that route because we got a lot to say there. And then so that's a whole thing. And how toxic the producers were with her and like and with everybody really of the narrative. And then there's always two sides to every story, and we've obviously seen the Selling Sunset, the cast, like their side of their story with Christine, but also that's, you know, edited with the show, but also, and we're not stupid about that. We get that things are twisted in reality shows, but then there's also, you know, Christine's side, and even some of the things that she's saying, I do believe her, and it gives definitely like more context to everything that I'm like, I get where she's coming from, and I believe her on some things, but then there are other points that I have proof to where you're contradicting yourself.
You literally say it on the screen. So
yeah, and so one of them was so there was all the drama about her at the end where they were all trying to like basically like the Oppenheim group or whatever is it Oppenheim or Oppenheimer?
Oppenheim, sorry. Oppenheimer.
And Oppenheimer in the Herbert.
So it reminds me of like Oscar Mayer. Yeah. Oppenheimer.
Okay. So Myers, don't know. The newest season of Selling Sunset, you know, at the end of the season, the Oppenheim group was trying to get rid of Christine. And the big thing where the season ended, you know, was that Christine had bribed one of the other girls, Emma, of the agency, bribed one of her like clients that Christine would pay this person $5,000 to jump Emma's ship and join hers.
And there was a red flag for me. I even thought it while watching the show that $5,000 for Christine?
Even if this person was like, I'll do it for free, she'd be like, let me pay $1 million.
Yeah, for real.
Or a couple grand.
And I think that Jason and Mary even said it on the show, like $5,000, that seems low for Christine. You know, like,
but I feel like that never happened. First of all, she's like, that's like illegal. And then she's like, and I would have absolutely, I'm not giving $5,000. I'm giving a hell of a lot more than that. She's like, $5,000? Like, it's chump change.
For real. Literally
like,
chump change.
She literally said, what am I, a peasant?
$5,000.
Yeah, I go, okay, sweet. Cool. For sure.
But yeah, I even thought that when they said the $5,000, because I did think that is low for Christine.
She spends $5,000 on like
literally
her pinky nail. That's what she said. She said her manicure. Yeah. Because I spend more on my manicure than that. Yeah. Like, come on. And so,
but also, I feel like after seeing the reunion, also, like, all the pieces of, like, it wasn't just coming from Emma, where Emma just said it happened and, like, nobody looked into it. It's like Jason talked to the guy. Mary talked to the guy.
There's no receipts. He's like, it's over the phone. And she's like, there's no receipts of a single thing.
I feel like I just believe Jason over Christine, though. But I did think that was weird when I go $5,000 seems so low.
Yeah, and she's like, when they were just already looking for a way to try to get rid of me. That too was like them showing like the moment they were like gonna meet with Christine in the office and fire her, and that she didn't show, wasn't answering the phone calls, like she never showed up to the meeting, and then that was that, and she just like never came back to the office, and she was like fired and quit. Christine is saying that she went into like this season. That we just watched, she went into the season already terminating her contract for the end of it with Oppenheim Group after this. And so it's like, she's like, how are they trying to fire me and do all this stuff when I quit before any of this even started?
Right.
Which I'm like, I don't know if I believe it. And she goes, I also didn't even know anything about this meeting that they were having with me. She's like, I found out about it when I was watching the show. Or like when people told about it after it airs.
I don't know.
If she's I would like to see the receipts of when she terminated the contract, because then I believe her. I'm like, if that's true, then, which I could see the reality show, obviously. She says there are 6 full-time narrative writers of any which way the show could go as things happen in their lives, and that they all have a plan of how that's going to go and how they're like, she said it's absolutely insane that they already have a timeline of what they're going to do without anybody knowing it. Like, and yeah, and then what was the other thing?
About Heather and the lip dubbing.
Oh my gosh, yes. So the scene, she shows both scenes of the, like, both clips of like the same scene and what the true scene was of like what was actually said versus what like the viewers saw on the show. Right. And the viewers, it's the scene where Heather and Christine are at lunch, and Heather's like, did you say to Heather, supposedly says to Christine, is what we saw, saying, or asking Christine, like, did you say that, like, to the press that Chrishell is, like, fucking the boss for a promote, whatever. Just fuck
to
the
get
bus.
more listings.
Yeah, to get more listings or whatever. And then it shows Christine saying, yeah, I did say that, and it's funny, like, it's hilarious.
Right.
And those two scenes combined like that, we were all like, okay, sociopath. Like, but at least she's owning it. But once again, it's not funny. You can own it, but don't pretend like it's like a joke for everybody, because it's only a joke for you.
Yeah, but it's not funny anyways.
No. And then she shows the real version of that meeting and her reaction to what was actually asked by Heather. But Heather actually asked Christine, like, did you say that Chrishell or that Jason used to have really good taste in women, and now, like, clearly now that he's with Chrishell, like, he doesn't.
Right.
And her response was I did say that, it's hilarious. And literally watching those two scenes, the difference of, like, how you, like, we were, like, our feelings sort of, like, how it affects, like, the viewer. Yeah. Where I'm like, she looked like a conniving bitch, like, to be laughing in that way to that question, but watching her laughing in the way she did to the other question, like, was so different. And she's like, they literally put words over Heather's mouth, like, dubbed it. Yeah. And because she's like, they have so much, like, B-roll or whatever of, like, everybody's every word that they've said in other dialects too, that they can put anything together as a voiceover. Yeah.
I mean, I can even do that on the podcast when I edit. You know, it's like if we mess up, I'll just clip that part out.
But I'm also like, okay, that's it. Because that was, like, one of the clips that she had, like, proof on. So I'm like, I'm also like, well, she probably doesn't have proof for the others, but I'm like, okay, then I would actually, though, for that, my biggest issue during that lunch meeting that her and Heather had was the fact that you were an hour late.
Yeah, that's what I care about.
And then you bitched Heather out about it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's like every reality show does that. I mean, Bachelor has been caught numerous times for dubbing over people's mouths. And it's like a good way to always tell if it's dubbed is it's like... if their face isn't in camera. It's like, so with Heather, when they were doing it, it's like, it was probably coming from behind Heather's head to Christine, or like vice versa, you know, when it's like, when it's always just like the back of their head, they just dub over it, and then, you know. And,
well, they showed too, she didn't show, but Christine talked about too, that there was one clip where she goes, I'm watching my mouth say like Heather or Emma, but they're playing my mouth saying, like, they're playing my voice saying Amanza in the sentence. As she's, like, talking in a clip, fully talking.
Yeah.
Her mouth is saying Heather, but they put Amanza.
Yeah.
And she goes, I wasn't even talking about Amanza. But you can't tell. And she's like, but I could see that. I'm like, my mouth is not saying Amanza.
Right.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird. I mean, believe me, I'm sure that...
I don't think she is a truth teller by any sorts, but I'm like, it is interesting to see how, like... Because we obviously know that with reality, that it's like the villains, even with Bachelor and stuff, it's like...
Besides Shanae. I think Shanae's a true villain.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I mean, with Christine, I get it. I get what she's saying. And yeah, obviously, I'm sure all of them... Their words are manipulated and twisted. It's reality TV. None of us are stupid.
Of course.
However, it's like Christine, the way that they all feel about you in real life, that's not manipulated. That's not twisted.
Exactly.
I go, like Mary went on Nick Viall's podcast and it was like she had not a single nice thing to say about her. Just was like, I feel like the way they all feel in real life, it's gotta be some sort of truth that she's like that. But also at the same time, I understand what she's saying where it's like, if she's the villain, they're just going to run with her being the villain and make her the worst villain she could be.
Right. Where it's like, but you can't tell people, like, how you made them feel. You know, it's like, if they feel hurt by you, you can't tell them that they can't feel hurt by you. If they like, same with Scott, where I'm like, his feelings are his feelings. He genuinely does feel really hurt that he's left out. Doesn't mean it's necessarily, like, valid to everybody else or like that.
Right. And it's just like, are you self-aware? You know, Scott, not self-aware.
Nope.
Christine, are you self-aware? I don't know. You know?
Yeah, and then every time, like, Alex Cooper would, like, ask Christine, like, do you regret, like, anything that, like, maybe went down between, like, you and any of the girls or anything like that, or anything that was said, do you regret? And she's like, no, not a single thing. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff she was saying, I'm like, where she's literally does not, it's not even about regretting, but do you feel any even, like, remorse about making, not even your actions, if that was right for you, but, like, do you feel remorse to how you made people feel based off of your actions? And it's, like, just no remorse where I'm like, is that narcissist or is that sociopathic? I'm
right, and that's why all the girls, it's like she wants resolution so bad with all the girls. Like that's why she goes out to lunch with Heather and Mary, and that's why she's constantly trying to do all this resolution. But then it's like when they ask you, do you feel bad?
Yes.
The answer is no. So it's like, so why are you trying to make up with them anyways?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why she hates Chrishell.
Oh.
Because Chrishell never wants to mediate with her. She never wants to make things up. Chrishell is like, you did me wrong. and you're done.
Right,
we
and
can
then
be coworkers.
She talked about Chrishell too, and was like, no, she came in and like wouldn't like just blamed everything on Chrishell, and that like all of the girls, we got along so well. They all really liked me, and it was not an issue till Chrishell came in. I go, I don't think that's the truth.
No,
at all. Like,
I mean, to a degree, she is right, because it's like if you look at first season,
right.
her and Mary were friends. Her and Heather were friends.
Yeah.
Actually, no, her and Heather weren't. It wasn't until later they became friends. I remember Heather blatantly saying like,
right.
we aren't close.
Oh my gosh, Emma. So she talks about like her version or whatever of, and I don't really remember what the other version was with Emma. I know there was like an ex-boyfriend between the two.
Yeah.
Emma was like fucking around with Christine's ex-boyfriend. But Christine said the moment she found out that Emma was with her ex, but boyfriend at the time or whatever, that he slept, like they hooked up, he was sleeping over, whole 9 yards, nothing was weird, like for Christine and her boyfriend. And then that next morning, she like he made an excuse to leave her house to be like, I have to go meet the gardeners at my house or something. And she's like, okay, whatever.
Gardeners.
Like wanted him to like go to lunch with her or something first, and he like bailed and said he had gardening to do. And so apparently, and then so she goes to lunch with one of her other friends, and as she's leaving lunch, somehow like runs in to seeing her boyfriend holding hands with Emma walking down the street. And she pulls up, and she's like, pulls up in her car, and he's like, don't listen to her, to Emma. Like, he's like, don't listen to her, don't listen, keep walking. Like, I don't even know. Like, and then Emma's like rolling up her, and then they're like in a car at some point, and Emma's like rolling up her window, and she's like, roll your window down. She's like,
and that's when they were blocking her car.
Yeah. And she was like, he was literally in my bed last night. And she's like, I thought you had gardening to do, sir. And you're walking hand in hand with this girl. But I didn't see, like, I missed the portion. I knew that something went down.
So, like, from Emma's point of view, what she said was she was dating this guy, and they were together and everything, and then Christine showed up with her friend, blocked their car, physically was, like, banging on the windows, like, being a psycho, where Emma's, like, doesn't even know who Christine is, and then Christine's at her house, like, or at the car, banging on her shit. But the thing about Christine and that guy is, like, Christine literally says that he proposed to her. And all of the girls, Davina, Mary, and they're like, no, he didn't. I never saw a ring. I never even knew that you were engaged. And like knowing Christine's personality, it's like, how would you not tell everybody you're engaged and show off your ring and all of that? They're like, we've never seen a ring from this dude. But I do believe there is some truth to it, because it's like, well, now Emma's not with him. You know, it's like, well, what were you doing?
But it's also, don't shoot the girl. You know, it's like she didn't owe you anything.
That exact scenario happened with my roommate in college.
Oh.
Where she was talking to this guy, and they were like dating, and he was not dating fully, but like really close to dating. Like they had been talking for a long time. He came up to see her, and then they hooked up, and then he literally walked from our place across the way and then went and met with another girl. And then I'm out to lunch with that other girl, not knowing about all of this, and she's telling me, and I'm like piecing it all together. I'm like, wait,
which guy were you with?
Wait.
Because I think he was just with my roommate
dating. And then the cherry on top is me and that girl went back to my roommate, told her, and then we FaceTimed him. And it's like literally she's FaceTiming him. And then the other girl gets into the phone, and he literally goes, fuck, and hangs up. I go, scumbag of the century.
Yeah.
Scumbag. So it's like, I don't put that past, him, especially if he's some big real estate guy that thinks he's so awesome.
100%.
It's like, yeah, but also Christine's a liar. So I'm like,
totally, yep.
So I don't know, because it's like part of Christine, sure, I do understand, but a lot of things I don't. So
I agree. Yeah, definitely. I don't think we are each other's cup of tea necessarily.
Right. No. Okay, so final thing for rapid fire gossip of the week is Bachelor in Paradise is confirmed.
Yep.
It is coming. Wells is going to be the bartender. Jesse will be the host.
Yep.
That was kind of a toss-up. Is Wells going to host? Is he not?
Yeah. Who do we want? Do we know for sure if anybody's coming? Like, who's going to be there?
So. I don't think we know the cast.
Off the top of your head, who do you want to be there?
Ooh.
I know.
Okay, well, who was the last season? I'm trying to think
of
like
Riley, Aaron.
No, they already went.
I know.
But like, who was this past season?
I'm sorry, I thought you meant last season of Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, Clayton was the last guy, and then Katie and Michelle were the girls.
Katie's had or whoever had Aaron and them, they were already on Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, you're right. Katie's season already aired. Yeah. So it would be Michelle and Clayton's people would be like the new additions to the beach. I'm trying to think of anybody that really stands out for me in Michelle's season. Rodney came from Michelle's season, right?
Yeah, I think
Love
so.
Rodney.
Yeah.
I really like the guys in that season.
Me too.
What's his face? Jamie, I bet, is going to be on there. Jamie the villain. The actual sociopath. Where I bet he's going to be on there.
Him.
Yeah.
And then would we want to see back? Because they always bring back old people, too.
Well, we always love Riley.
Riley's got to go on there.
I don't know if Riley's going to go on there again, just because of, like, the whole thing with Marissa.
But they might pull, like, kind of like with Joe. It's like he got engaged on, or whatever, like, met Kendall there and brought him right back. Where it's like maybe they throw in Riley and then they try to toss in and sprinkle Marissa in there somewhere, or vice versa.
Yeah, for real.
It would be some good TV.
100%.
I want them to rekindle so bad.
I bet Genevieve will be on there from Clayton's season.
Yes, for sure. Genevieve.
Sierra will be for sure.
And we were just saying her. Shanae.
Yeah, Shanae. I bet I could see her trying to do like some redemption. Yeah. But honestly, for like with Crystal. Remember Crystal?
Yes.
She was bad on her season, but then redeemed herself in Paradise. Like, I genuinely don't know if Shanae could ever redeem herself.
I don't think so either.
Like, I don't know if she really could with me. Like, the way she acted in, like...
Because she's genuinely after the final not self-aware. Not self-aware whatsoever.
No. But, so there's been a little Bachelor tea because with the Bachelor in Paradise new season coming up, Blake Horstman was giving like tips and tricks about the season, like what to, if you're going into it, what to expect. One of the things that he said was like, don't trust the Bachelor podcast hosts on the beach.
The host? Like,
yeah, because
if somebody who has a Bachelor podcast comes on.
Yeah, like if they're sponsored by Bachelor, like for example, like Joe and Natasha were both on last Bachelor in Paradise season, and it's like Natasha got a great edit because of the whole Brandon and Piper thing.
Right.
Or Brendan and Piper thing.
Right.
So it's like Natasha's edit was like, poor Natasha, screw Brendan and Piper. And, like Joe, his whole edit about, Sierra or
Serena. Does Natasha have a podcast or something?
She's the host with Joe on their clickbait podcast. So there's lots, because I mean, like the Bachelor sponsors certain podcasts. One of them is like Tayshia's and Becca's. One of them is Joe and Natasha's.
Okay. So I know that almost every Bachelor contestant has a podcast. I didn't know what counted.
Yeah, so some are sponsored by Bachelor.
Okay.
And they're like, and what Blake said was basically like, watch what you say around the people that have podcasts with Bachelor, because those people will always get good edits because the Bachelor franchise, supports them. And also, so like that. And he didn't name names. He didn't say Natasha. He didn't say Joe. He didn't say anybody. But Natasha like kind of spoke out about it. Was like, I completely disagree. Like they were kind of like back and forth about that one. But also
interesting though.
Yeah, because I go, that makes sense. If you're supported by the franchise, they're not going to make you look bad.
And not even that too, but they also are like, they're going to want. Like, you're going to be kind of like when the producers are in the background, like manipulating things, it's like they're going to somehow tee it up to them of being like, it'll get us more views.
Yeah.
It'll get us more views, which means more views for you and your podcast. You know what I mean? It's like there's always a catch 52, catch 42.
I think it's catch 22. 52.
I thought for sure by saying 52 or 42 would work. It's 22.
Yeah, catch 22. No problem. But yeah, I kind of do see it, I would understand why. Yeah. Because it's like you said, that would be a great strategy between producers and the podcast host. It's like, if we do this,
but it's part of the contract.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a wrong thing to say by Blake saying that.
Something to keep locked up here.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we know so well like what the producers do, the way they act, the way they manipulate. But then it's like they surprise me sometimes.
I know. And when does that air?
I think
compared to like Gabby and Rachel's season.
Gabby's done filming, by the way. Gabby and Rachel are done filming.
Oh, but they both are.
They're both. Well, I think they're both done. I don't follow Rachel, but I do follow Gabby, and Gabby posted literally last night on her story for the first time, and they were out to dinner. So I go, she's done filming because she's posting on her Instagram story.
Which would come first, Paradise?
Paradise should come first.
What month is this? May? It's like...
I feel like Paradise typically comes out in like June or July. Right. But if they haven't even released the cast, they probably haven't even filmed it yet.
Well, they were filming. That's why everybody was confirming that it was happening. There was like pictures of them filming.
Oh, really?
What?
Oh, I didn't see any photos.
You know what? We'll find out when we find out.
Yeah, for real. All right. That is a wrap on our first video episode.
And let us know what we should tweak, because obviously this is just a trial run, trial error. We don't know, am I looking at the lens? Am I looking at the camera? Am I looking at you? We got to get another mic, too. It'd be nice if we could, sit back with the mic.
Just, sit back here, chill on out.
But you know what? Hey.
Not too shabby.
I kind of like it, yeah. So whether you're watching on YouTube or listening over any of the podcast platforms, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a review. Let us know what you think.
And we will see you snitches next week for another gossip update.
Oppenheim group. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I'm getting buzzed. Scene of... Oh my God. Like, I can't stop. But it's like, it's going to be in my voice if I don't get it out.
Yeah, no, you had to.
Okay.
Better out than in, I always say. Sorry. Had to pull the Shrek quote.
Yeah.
Good.
That Jason usually has good taste in men, but like clearly
Good taste in women.
Oh, well, I don't know.